Okay. So welcome once again. So as we wait for the others, we just review your tax one essay. Let's say a word of prayer. Our Heavenly Father, we thank you for yet another day. We pray committing today's lesson into your hands. We pray that everything that we study here, let it be part and parcel of our life. Let us be able to recollect it on the day of our exams, that at the end of our examination, we'll give all glory and honor to your name. In Jesus' name we pray, thanksgiving. Amen. Okay, so James, I hope you received a response on your score in your email. So if you can just pull that up and share your screen with us so we discuss it. Your essay, because the day we reviewed the tax one, uh, writing tax one on line graph, you were not in that class, so we're not able to discuss. I was not able to give you your feedback on the essay. So let's do that before the others join us quickly. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, did you receive the email?
Yeah, I did.
So can you just open a link to? I don't have it anymore because we've moved from Google Workspace. So yes. So you
I
just
see.
share. Yeah, but it's actually small. I didn't know you were using a mobile phone. Okay, it's fine. I can see it. Everything is okay here. So it says that the line graph illustrates the gross value added growth by various sectors from 2014 to 2019. Okay, so let's look at the question first. Let's look at the question. The chart below shows gross value added growth rated by sector. Summarize the information by selecting and reporting the main ideas. Selecting and reporting the main ideas and make comparison where relevant. Okay, so I think we scored you. We gave you a score of 5. Okay, so let's quickly review and see where the mistakes were. Okay, so uh, just scroll up a little for us. Okay, it says that the graph illustrates the gross value added growth by various sectors from. Okay, so your introduction is okay. Okay, your introduction is okay, but you shouldn't repeat the same words that were given to you in the question. So if the question says graph, okay, the question said chart and use graph here is very good. You have to vary the language. If it says show, you shouldn't use show in your introduction. Okay, but the structure of your sentence is just like that's in the question. So I think you should vary it a little. Then after that, you move on to your overall statement or your overview, which should be a new paragraph. Okay, which should be a new paragraph. So here you have the graph illustrates the gross value added growth by various sectors from 2014 to 2019. Then you stopped over there and you went on to it covers areas of agriculture, industry, and services. Then you stop again. Then you move on to your overall statement. So the best thing to do, okay, the best practice is you have to make sure your whole introduction is one sentence. So it should either be a compound sentence or a simple sentence, because according to the documents I sent you, which was the band descriptors, it states that if you use only simple sentences, okay, so simple sentences are like Kofi is a boy. James is a doctor of pharmacy. Okay, those are simple sentences. Okay, or maybe James is studying IELTS writing. James will be taking the test in maybe October or in March. Those are simple sentences, but you have to join them together to form either complex sentences and compound sentences. As we move on, we are going to treat that in our grammar classes. Today we have some. James, could you mute your mic if you are not speaking? Yeah, just turn it on when you're about to speak. Okay, yeah, thank you. So compound and complex sentences, we'll treat it in one of our grammar classes. Okay, today we'll be looking at something else as we move on. I think I did it with the previous group, so those who were able to join us were privy to that information. Okay, so try here, try not to use in IELTS writing in general, try not to use a lot of simple sentences. Okay, have more compound sentences, have more complex sentences, because this place everything is correct, everything is right, but it's just that it was you've broken everything down like in simple. Then let's look at the overall statement. I also think you missed the overall statement a little bit. I don't know. The service in agriculture, generally, the service in agriculture had an average of 3.5%. Okay, which is not really true because how did you calculate the average? I don't know. I cannot see very well from the chart here because it's very small. So I think the overview was also not really on point. Let's just put in the chart. Let me see if I can get. Uh, I think last time when we were discussing with the others, we wrote something, right? Ezekiel, we wrote something. I don't know. Okay. So when you look, so let me just share this so you see. We started something the previous time. Okay, I hope you can see my screen right now. Okay, so I started answering the question last time when I was discussing it with I think Ayuram and Elijah. So this is what we wrote together. Okay, so I wrote this for the line graph illustrates the gross value and growth rate by percentage of agriculture, industry, and service sectors of the agricultural industry and service sectors from 2014 to 2019. Okay, there should be a full stop. Proper punctuation also counts. Okay. Overall, both agriculture and industry rose steadily over the course of the period and uh, it has to be contributed to just above 4% in 2019, but peaked in 2017 with 10%, with a 10% difference in percentage, where industry the greater, yeah, okay, because we are comparing two things. So where industry, So even after writing your essay, you have to go over it to just embellish it a little, make it better because you might have missed something. Maybe what was in your head was not what you penned down. Okay, so just go over it. So uh, where industry was the greater value at 16%, while that of services fell slightly to about 3% and plateaued 3 years from and plateaued 3 years, then stepped up to greater than 6% in 2019. So this is capturing the main trend. And from here, we can see that industry and which other one? Agriculture and industry were moving in the same trend. They rose together, but the difference was about 10% between them, which was 16%. Okay, so 16 minus 10 is 6. So the difference was 16 and 10. Okay, between agriculture and industry. Then you talk about also the trend of the service sector. Then now you move to your main body paragraph. So this is not complete. So in the main body paragraph, let me just stop sharing. So you continue to share. Let me see. How do I even stop sharing? Yes, this thing, the learning curve is something. Oh, okay, share this window. Stop presenting. Good. So, hello, James.
Hello.
Yeah, could you just pull back your essay? Hello. Okay, guys, can you have your cameras on? Okay. So for the main body paragraph, I think you decided to write it according to the years, which is not advisable. I told you guys that you look at the parameters. So what is on the x-axis, what is on the y-axis? Okay, look at the one that has more values. So for example, could you just scroll up a little to where the graph is so we see the graph better? Okay, so this graph had three parameters here. Okay, it's talking about three main agriculture, industry, and service. And it has the years, let's say about 6 years. And you decided to talk about it in years. It's not, you should use the once year. So agriculture. So you talk about agriculture, then you describe the trend, like the value over the years. Then you go to uh, industry, the same, and service. But in case you have maybe agriculture, industry, service, education, health, exports, you have a lot of parameters here, but you have only 2 years or 3 years, then you can decide to structure your main body paragraph in years. So you start, okay, in 2015, this agriculture was this, for it to be coherent. Okay. So I think that was another mistake that you did, and some small, minor errors. Okay, so I think that's enough. If there is something that's not clear, maybe just email me or text me on WhatsApp. We'll discuss it further. So we'll continue with today's class. Today was supposed to be our presentation on the grammar assignment I gave you the other time. So someone was supposed to present on, I think, cliches, another person on similes, another on proverbs, then the other on euphemism. Euphemism. So, James, you can stop sharing. Maybe just to make sure you guys are here, let's all turn our cameras on, our video on. Okay. Yeah, hello. Okay. So, who has done the assignment? Who is ready to? Okay, so we'll start with Elijah. You can just share your screen. Yeah, I know we are all struggling with this app because it's new to us, and I understand the learning curve is quite steep.
Are you assignment to give me on the cliche?
Yes. Do you have it ready?
Yes.
Okay, so anyone that's ready can go ahead.
I'm coming. Uh, how do I share it here?
I'm not even sure. I don't even know how to share from my end.
Let me see.
Let me
Let me
see.
try something.
Okay. Oh, there is share here. You see, there is a square, a rectangle with an arrow pointing up.
Pin share tray. Okay, I'm coming.
Yeah, beside the camera and the microphone button.
Window. Tab. Window. Uh, can you see my screen? Is it sharing?
Yes,
It's
yes,
sharing, right?
yes.
Okay. So I don't know if maybe this is the order you wanted us to do it. I just mixed it.
Okay,
Uh,
so first you
I find.
next time we'll prefer it to be on the PPT.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. Oh, I
Yeah,
didn't
yeah.
know. I didn't know. I didn't know.
PPT will be
Okay.
better.
I can just like one thing. I can just switch it to PPT and then I'll send it
Hey,
maybe like this.
wow, I didn't know you were Superman, but it's fine. We'll take it like that. Then
Yeah, I
maybe
can
in the
change it. Like you can just change it to PPT. Like it's not a big deal actually. But I can do it
okay,
after the class. Yeah, I can do it. I'll do it.
okay.
Okay.
That's fine. So so when you come, you just tell us what it is, what your assignment is all about, and you take us through. So you are going to teach us. We are listening. If we have any questions, we'll ask you.
Oh, okay, okay, all right.
Yeah,
So my assignment was on to find examples of cliches as much as I
mhm,
could. Yeah.
yeah.
So so first of all, the definition of a cliche. From what I found in the I don't know who this now to get definition from, but it's like they said a phrase or opinion that is overused and betrays a lack of original thought.
Hmm.
Yeah, so like I don't know how to explain. I guess it's self-explanatory or
No,
or
it isn't. So you have to explain more.
okay, all right. I mean when I use like let me use the examples to like explain more and all
Hmm.
that. Okay, but I'll start from the examples here, then go to the sentences. These are sentences I wrote, but I wanted to switch it by then. Okay, I'll start from here. The cliches that describe like there are different type of cliches you
Hmm.
can use to describe maybe places, maybe people, things you do. So these are like
Hmm.
examples of cliches that describe life, love, and emotions. Understand? So an examples are uh, cliches example that describe life, love, and emotions. Opposite attract. Opposite attract. Every cloud has a silver lining. Opposite attract. It means that, let's say probably they are, I have written the meaning attached, but I felt like we will understand. Okay, I'll explain as I said.
So
I'll
you
explain.
you you've given us the cliches, but you didn't give
Yeah,
us what they mean or signify.
yeah, yeah. I
So
gave them an
for your
example.
assignment, you've got a 59%. It's half done.
Okay.
Assignment is half done.
I kept most of them in examples. I thought maybe they would be understandable. But I guess I should have written the meaning. That would make much more sense, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay,
So
but okay, fine. Then apart from that, let me just go to some examples. Probably maybe like you understand what I mean. And I can explain them simply. Just the examples I gave. So some of the examples I kept like I made with the cliches was even though she's 80 years old, she's still sharp as a tack. Like sharp as a tack means like she still thinks like let's say like someone who's young, you understand? Like she doesn't really reason up like someone who's 80 years old, like someone who's younger. Like her mind still works like a young person, you understand? And then the second one is her advice is to live and let live. So I can maybe if I go to explain all of them, it's going to take much time. So probably I'll just write the minutes on the examples and then I'll send them. So
your mark is reducing. Nice. Nice. It's 50%.
oh,
Okay.
then I'll stop
So
talking before you.
I have a material here from the Webster's Reference Library Student's Companion. If you can get this book, it's a very helpful book to help you in your grammar
Yes.
and writing. So it says here, let me just read from what the book says. It says cliches are an established feature of the English language, being particularly common in spoken English language and in informal written context. Some of them are hundreds of years old. Others have been taken only a sh- others have taken there is static noise in the background. Because of my headset, I can hear every single sound, including all your notifications and everything. Okay. So there are many people who claim to dislike cliches and regard them as somehow spoiling the language. But even even they would find that they use them quite more often. People dislike cliches because they are overused. Many cliches start out as a particularly imaginative or neat way of saying something, but they become used so often by so many people that they lose their freshness or originality. Please, are you following? It would be it would be almost impossible to get rid of our speech. It it would be almost impossible to get. Mhm. It will be almost the print in this book is very, very small. Very small. It will be it will be almost impossible to rid our speech and writing entirely of cliches. And in any case, they often add a bit of color to the language. Okay, so the reason why we are treating this topic is what they even though some people think they are overused, they are old-fashioned, they are informal, they add a little bit of flavor, okay, character to our language. Since they are such an established feature of English, it is important for learners of English to learn how to use them correctly. However, particularly in fairly formal speech or writing, it is essential to try to avoid using them too frequently. Some cliches are used in contexts in which they are virtually meaningless and act simply as conversational fillers. For example, there are people who use the expression at this moment or at this moment in time regularly when the word now would be more appropriate. Likewise, many people use cliches such as the thing is at the end of the day or you know what I mean in this way or you know what I mean in this way. Below is a selection of common cliches which are particularly overused and so should be used sparingly. Some of some of these are more thoroughly explained in the English idiom section. Okay, so for example, like they have one here, accidents will happen, which means things go wrong at some time in everyone's life. Okay, so there are different cliches about death, cliches about uh, life, work, lots of them. There are lots of them. As good as gold. Okay, to cut the long story short is to summarize. It's also a cliche. A fate, a fate worse than death. An exaggeration meaning death would be preferable. So it's also a cliche. I will send you a picture. I'll convert this with OCR into text and send it to you on the page after the class. Okay, so Elijah will just give us some of his examples and give the explanation to them. Then we move on to the next thing because you have a lot to do today. We can't hear you. You're muted.
The
Yeah.
bottom line. Hello, can you hear me?
Hear you. I can hear you.
Okay. And the bottom line, meaning the outcome or conclusion. Um, Call it a day. Give up or stop a venture. Then chalk and cheese, like opposites. Then there's also cliche route, cover a multitude of sins. Understand? Hello, can you hear me? Hello, hello.
Hello, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Uh-huh.
I was just playing around with some of the toggles to see what
Mhm.
the features of the app.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So
but I can't see James.
yeah, I don't know whether he has. I think Ingrid is here. Oh,
Yeah, Ingrid just joined us.
okay. Um, Cover a multitude of sins. That means flattering surface on something usually refers to clothing. At the crack of dawn, that means very early. We'll cross that bridge when you come to it. That means deal with matters in hand and think of other problems when they arise. Then cut and dried. That's like settled and definite. A dark horse, someone with a secret, usually an exciting or maybe exotic one. Understand?
Okay.
Then dead in the water, that's like something that has no chance of working at all. Like a dead in the water, yeah. Then a deafening silence, talking about like silence which is very like embarrassing. Okay, like a definite silence, a prominent silence or embarrassing silence. And then there's a cliche to that, a dog eat dog, a ruthless struggle against one's rival to survive or to be successful. And then donkey years ago, like so many years
Mm,
ago. And then I
20
think
years ago.
that's the donkey years ago, yeah. And then
Mhm.
far and wide, like a great area. Then fall on deaf ears. Yeah, an explanation given to someone who doesn't want to listen.
Mhm.
And then easier said than done. That
Yes.
is more difficult than it appears to be. And then drown one's sorrows, like to get drunk, like over to get over maybe something, the disappointment, maybe
Mm.
heartbreak or something. Definition touches like the final
They
stages.
said everyone will get their share. Is it true? Obia Virgin is share.
It go reach everybody.
Oh, please, I'm not part.
The definition touches, that is like the final stages. Then first things first, first things first, which is also like which means like most important things first.
Okay. Okay.
Then
So I think
food for
can
thought.
can you
That's
prepare it? Can you
food for
prepare
thought.
it and send it to us?
Okay, right, all right. I'll just
So
put it in the PowerPoint like straight for it, and then I'll just
yeah,
send it to you.
okay. So we'll move on to the next one. So James, Hello, Dr. James. These things really come in. We might think it's not important, but they are very important in speaking and writing. Trust me. These cliches and euphemism and similes and things. Because IELTS is basically cliches. They want you to, instead of writing the normal thing, they want you to write cliches. Okay. So instead of writing now, they will tell you to write at this juncture. I can hear you, Elijah.
Oh, there was one time you made us read on phrasal verbs, but you never asked.
Yeah, phrasal verbs, you have to know it for yourself.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because they are also very good. Okay.
Yeah, I watched some YouTube video. I wanted to about phrasal verbs, and I realized that they
We
took me
use
to
it a lot.
and they took me to a series I used to watch. I used to watch this series. I know I watch it, The Big Bang Theory.
Yeah.
They use a lot of phrasal
Sheldon.
verbs, a lot, and Friends like that's
Mhm.
comedy movies. Friends on Friends or something, Friends like that. They use a lot of
Friends is very
yeah,
old.
very old. Yeah.
Mm. Okay, James. Okay,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, yeah. Uh-huh. Oh, you're still at work.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I can see I'm with the club. Sorry, I'm very inquisitive and curious. They say the curious monkey gets a what? Who knows the saying? You don't know it, James. What about you? The curious monkey. I can hear you, James.
So,
Yeah, you were saying something. The curious monkey. Can you complete it?
replying more than five. I
The
don't know.
curious the curious monkey gets a bullet in the face. It's a saying.
Please, I'll come on.
Okay, so similes, yes. What are they? And examples. Okay, I think James is busy, so maybe uh, Ingrid was supposed to take. Let me see, because she's not here. Let me just English idioms, right? So in IELTS writing and speaking, idiomatic expressions are very important. Okay, so if you want to beef up your speech and improve your score, you have to use a lot of idiomatic expressions. Hey, dear Elijah, you know your camera is on, right? And you know we are recording and you are picking your nose. Gone are the days where we used to have fun. Oh. Now the internet is forever. Okay, so let's move on. Idiomatic expressions. Oh, why? Okay, so idiomatic expressions. There are lots of them in English. There are lots of them in English, and I don't even know where to start from. So appearance. To keep up the appearance is to behave in public in such a way as to hide what is going on in private. Okay, so we just have to read a lot of them and get used to them, so they come to us naturally in our writing and our speaking. Idiomatic expression. We will send the PDF later. Okay, so next week, after, oh, you have the book, Elijah. Yes, it's a very good one. So next week we are going to look at words liable to be confused. Okay, words liable to be confused. They are also very important. Accept, accept, access, and excess. Adapter and adapter. So adapter with an ER and adapter with an OR. Addition, addition. Okay, so we have to look at all these words. Okay, brooch, brooch, brooch with an O and brooch with an A. BROOCH, BROACH. Okay, beach and beach, beat and beat. Okay, they might sound as homonyms, homophones. So final and finale. Okay, so
At first I thought a finale was a French word.
maybe the origin will be definitely, most of the English words are from French. So the origin might be French, but
But then it
it
makes
doesn't.
sense. Then it
Yeah,
makes
it
sense.
doesn't mean the same thing. Like moral and morally, they are not the same thing. Moral and moral with an E
With an E, yeah.
does not mean the same. Local and local with an E,
Local with an E, yeah. Very true.
they don't mean the same thing.
Very
Okay,
true.
so
Very true.
final and final, but this one we say finale. And
Mm.
what we'll later look at, I'll just send them to you, that one, because there is a lot of things we have to do. We cannot discuss all of them. We have words liable to be mispronounced. Okay, so I learned that we say pronunciation, not pronunciation. I read it not long ago. Pronunciation, not pronunciation. For example, there are some words, they are spelled the same way, like it's the same word, but depending on the meaning. So like AGED. Okay, we say aged when we are referring to old people, but we want to refer to age of someone, we say aged. So we can say maybe a boy aged 20 or a boy aged 15. But we want to say, okay, maybe we must give back to the aged in the community. So it's spelled the same way, but different pronunciation. So it's also very important. Words liable to be mispronounced. If you get them right, your speaking will be very good. As you are doing writing, we have to be touching on everything. Okay. Okay. So I think we'll continue as we wait for Dr. James. Okay, so we'll move on to the discussion for today. So today we are supposed to discuss on climate change. It's one of the high yield topics. They come a lot in the writing tax too. You might get it in reading. You might get it in speaking. There are some topics, as I told you, they are very, very high yield. Climate change, crime, immigration, uh, unemployment, they are all high yield topics. Okay. In your IELTS test, you might get them in one form or the other. If they don't come in writing, they'll be there in reading, they'll be there in speaking. So instead of giving you questions to always write about it, we'll discuss some will have tax 2 essays on them when we start treating tax 2. To what extent do you agree, disagree, advantages, disadvantages, causes and effects, problems and solutions? Okay, there are the different questions types we have in tax 2.
Yeah, I think you're right because a friend of mine wrote IELTS just last week Sunday.
Yeah,
Not this week, the other week Sunday. Yeah,
yes.
she wrote Hackov, yeah, a computer
Mhm.
based. Yeah, I think there's
Oh,
computer based here now. Yeah, she
wow,
got
that's
she got
nice.
she got 8, 7.5, and 7.5. So an average
Oh,
she had eight.
so she's okay, she's good to go.
Yeah, yeah.
She's so blessed. Wow.
she said
I wish that was my results.
she said the night before, like she was really really. she got new information the night before. Me, I didn't know that she was writing, so she not tell me. I just realized that I still know she was going to write it. I'm like, since when? Then she now told me her results after she was done. I'm like, oh, okay.
Oh,
So that's nice.
if
I asked her
you have
of
to write it
asked
today,
her of
you'll
her,
pass. Don't worry.
asked her of her task one. Then she said that she had two bar graphs. I think one was related to the other bar graphs, and then her task two was about unemployment. I've forgotten how she framed the question, but she was like, they asked, to what extent do you agree or disagree?
Disagree, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you get a bar graph in your tax one, okay, definitely your tax two will be a little more difficult.
Oh, okay.
But if you get, let's say, a diagram or a
Mhm.
process or a map in your tax one, generally the topics they'll bring in tax two are very familiar, and also they don't bring questions like to what extent do you agree. They might bring maybe advantages, disadvantages, or
Yeah.
problems and solutions. Yeah, they are
Oh.
those question types are a little easy.
Yeah, problems and solutions. It's like you
But
write
if you
uh,
have both,
social studies.
yes.
Practice.
But if you don't argue your points very well, you
That's,
still
yeah,
not get
it's
a high.
very
Oh, she got 7.5 is very good.
yeah,
So so
eight,
she
eight,
has
7.5. So she had an average
huh?
of 8. Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice. That's nice. That's nice. Oh, congrats. Okay, so just study hard. I know even if you are there and you want to write it, you do well because sometimes the adrenaline helps.
Yeah, it helps. It helps.
Yeah,
It helps.
because
So,
you know it's like exams. But
oh,
when
there
I give
was
you when I give you assignments, people do it the time you like. You don't turn it in on time. You use more than last time I set a software to record the time that you guys used to write tax one. I don't know if you open it, go and take your bath, cook, eat, sleep, wake up before you answer. Some people take 6 hours. 6 to 8
actually
hours.
I'm trying to make sure that when you send, I just open it and I do it so that like I would time myself. I always try to time myself when anytime I'm doing it.
Okay.
The last one I wrote, I just used a bit above 20 minutes. I'm trying to like reduce it.
But tax one should try to use 15, maximum 20 minutes. Okay. So what
Yeah.
is climate change? What is climate change? Yeah, we are just having a discussion because you might get a question on it and you remember something Jerry said, something James said, and to help you build your points. Okay.
Well, it's very true because
Yeah. It's
when somebody says something like you're like, okay, this person
yeah.
said this person said that, it makes you help, it makes you remember.
Yes. It's
Climate
better.
change, how do you define it?
Oh no, I'm not saying you should define it. Oh,
Yeah.
nobody's an academic authority on this topic, so we are just discussing. Okay, because I
Okay.
think with discussion you get a lot of points and a lot of general idea about the topic. So whether it is in speaking or writing, at least you have something. Because I told you, if you don't have anything to write about, no matter how good you are in writing, you not
Yeah.
write well.
Not writing
So
anything, not writing
yeah,
that's
so at least you should have some base general idea. That's why I say you should watch YouTube a lot. Watch YouTube a lot and stop watching football. Watch
I can there's no way you can do that football. Football
yeah. Watch until after your exams you watch football. Now you
we do
should
it
watch
hand in hand.
a
I
lot
watch
of
a lot
YouTube.
of YouTube.
Okay. So what
I
is
think
climate change?
climate change, it's I would say it's the weather pattern probably in in a geographical area. So like it differs from one geographical area to the other. So depending on, and then it's measured in but it's well deep. I don't know the climate change. I think so. Well,
Should I call your speaking teacher to come and see you?
oh, I'm not doing speaking. If I do speaking, I'll generally take my time. Oh, it would ask me about climate change speaking.
Indirectly, this is speaking.
It's true. It's
Indirectly
very true.
speaking, you don't know.
It's very true. It's
I,
very
I know
true.
I know what I'm assessing. So I told you I am not an authority in English. I'm not good in English, but I understand what I'm doing. Okay.
Mm.
And I told you,
Okay, I'll say that.
I didn't go to a good primary school.
I didn't go to the primary school.
So my
Yeah.
English is not perfect, but so what is climate change?
Okay, in my opinion, climate change refers to the geographical patterns, the geographical weather patterns in a in an area. So, and then when we talk about climate change, a lot of things
Do you
over the
have a
century.
dog over there?
Yeah. There's a dog. Yeah. over over the century, a lot of fossil fuels and then pollutants and then atmospheric substances such as nitrogen, carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide has contributed to the change in climate over the centuries. So and then some have led to us experiencing global warming somewhere in the early part of the century as well.
Mhm.
So
So I heard two words: fossil fuels and global warming. There are plenty that you said. Okay, so you made mention of weather. Okay, what's the
yeah.
difference between weather and climate?
Hmm.
Because when I asked about climate change, you did not really tell me what climate change is. So it means you do not understand climate, you do not understand weather. So what is weather and what is climate? If you get to understand what climate is, then you understand what we call climate change.
Uh, Climate is the seasons. That's what I think.
Okay, climate is the seasons. Okay, okay. So weather is the day-to-day atmospheric conditions of a place,
Exactly.
a geographical area. It's not social studies. It's general knowledge. General knowledge. Okay, of a geographic. You were using geographic area in a very wrong context. So when we say geography, geography refers to what? The physical, okay,
But don't. Okay.
material or
Okay. I was thinking that climate change according to like the place. That's why
yes,
the graphical.
climate change is geographical. But in your definition, what you said, you were saying that is a change of geographical something something. It's
No, I
not a
said
change of
is the
geographical anything.
you're changing weather patterns in a like a geographical
Geographical
area.
area. Okay, yes. Okay, so weather is what day to day. Okay,
Mm,
so
yeah.
today we say it is rainy, right?
Mm,
It is rainy. It is sunny today. It is cloudy. It is windy. Okay, it's snowing today. That's weather. When we
yeah.
talk about climate, climate is what the average general weather conditions of a geographical area recorded over a period of 25 to 30 years.
Mhm.
So that is climate. So we say the climate of Ghana is what maybe humid or tropical. Okay. So we know that the climate of Ghana is tropical. The climate of Ukraine is either maybe Mediterranean or they have cold climate. Okay. We know that the Arctic regions, their climate is always cold. All year round is cold. So that is climate. So when you say climate change, it means that what the general average weather conditions of a place has changed compared to the previous generation, so the previous 30 years. So that is what climate change. Okay, so climate change means, so for example, let's say we have the deserts. The deserts are arid, they have arid climate, right? Arid or semi-arid climate. When you say arid climate, it means it's very dry, it does not rain, and it's cold at night. Hot during the day, cold at night. That's what it means. Arid, ARID. Okay, arid climate. So when we say there is change in climate, so probably it is still hot, but it is hot during the day, hot during the night. Then we say climate change. Okay, so that's it for climate and weather. Okay, now you mentioned fossil fuels. Are fossil fuels the problems or the causes of climate change? I can hear you. Unmuted.
I
Yeah.
was I was muted.
Mhm.
I was muted. They are the products that affect the
Okay.
climate, like
So they
the
are the
changing, the
byproducts of,
byproduct.
yes. So fossil fuels themselves are not the
They're not
problem.
the
But
problem.
when we use them and they are byproducts, okay.
Mm.
Okay. So how do their byproducts cause uh, climate change?
Okay, so basically, when fossil fuels are introduced into the atmosphere, and
Mhm,
then they go to we have atmospheric gases,
mhm,
like we have nitrogen in the atmosphere, we have carbon monoxide,
mhm,
carbon dioxide, we have oxygen in the atmosphere, but nitrogen contains the most amount of gases that in the atmosphere. So
mhm.
when these byproducts interact with these atmospheric
Okay.
gases
Mhm.
over a period in time, over a period in time, you would see that there will
Over
be
a period of time.
over a
Yes.
period of time. Yeah, you
Yeah.
would you would realize that uh, there will be a change. I don't know which word to use, but over a period of time, you would realize that the atmosphere will be affected. Probably, maybe it would increase. It will cause. It will definitely cause uh, global warming at the end, because
Mhm.
it can create excess heat, probably more than the time it's supposed to take, probably in a sunny season. And there are times whereby there's there's even an example. That, like, you can create there's ways whereby people now create artificial rain, even, yeah, even in some countries.
It's called seeding.
CD
Yeah, we are seeding the cloud.
in the
So
cloud.
all so in everything you need vocabs. Okay. So climate change. Now I was waiting for you to mention global warming. So how does fossil fuel lead to climate change? So global warming and the process you explained it, but it's just that you did not put yourself very. It was not really articulate, but it's okay. It's a good start. Maybe when we move on to employment, you do better. Okay, so as you rightly said, fossil fuels, when they are used, they produce they are byproducts. Okay, so the byproducts uh, are released into the atmosphere. They react with gases in the atmosphere, and sometimes they deplete the ozone.
The
So
ozone
deplete.
layer. That was
It's
the word I
also
was looking for. That's
one
the word I
of
was looking
the
for.
ozone layer should be one of the lexical resources. Okay, when it comes to climate change global, so they deplete the ozone. Okay, then the layer is not able to reflect UV light,
Yeah,
bounce off UV light, which leads to the warming of the atmosphere. Secondly, when they are released, because they are what is it, inert gases, so
yeah, inert gases. Yeah,
they trap more heat.
yeah, they
This
are
will,
heat trapping gases. Yeah,
yeah, so they lead to more what global warming. They then you another effect is what, so they react with other gases, and in the when it's raining, they mix with water to form what, so let's say if we have excess carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, when it's raining, if it mixes with water to form what, weak carbonic acid,
with carbonic acid.
which affects our what, crop yields and forest, which also at the end leads to
Yeah,
global warming. So
global
you
warming.
mention, you touch on it, then you explain. Okay, now let's talk about some of the solutions to global warming. Okay, we have 20 more minutes to the end of the
20 more
class.
minutes.
Yes, 20 more minutes. Yeah. So what are some of the solutions to global warming?
Some of the solutions to
Google, open, Google it and tell me.
well, I'll let me say some, and then I'll Google some of them. I think
Okay.
one solution to global warming is to be able to recycle waste properly. It's effective recycling of waste, and to also, yeah, that's basically one thing I know. And to also minimize, uh like, we need to save time and energy.
please, not to interrupt you. So when you talk about one point, you expand it. How?
Okay.
Then you
I
give
thought you wanted to
example.
mention.
Then
Okay,
you give
okay,
example. Okay,
okay.
then you move on to the second one. And when you're moving from the first idea to the second idea, link it properly.
Okay, yeah, I understand.
Okay. So it's like
Okay.
you are presenting ideas. So the first one. So maybe another way or more after your example, just find a nice way of linking your
Yeah.
second thought.
Okay.
So I'm listening. Yeah.
First of all, effective recycling of waste.
Mm,
Effective recycling of waste.
in
So
the sense that
what we can do, what we can do to reduce global warming is to effectively recycle the waste that we dispose. You
mhm,
understand? In the sense that we can gather this waste at a vantage point and make sure that uh, uh, they are being used again or recycled in factories to be able to manufacture other goods and
mhm,
other goods to help the population as well, or they can even be sent to dump sites or recycle sites to be used in making other plastics that can help the less privileged.
mhm,
That can as well like help the less privileged. An example is an example is like an example is the plastics we use, the plastic containers, the pure water, the polythene box that we use, and then the sachets. When we actually burn this waste product,
mhm,
they release an amount of gas into the atmosphere that can lead to global warming. So when we
mhm,
effectively recycle them and use it to manufacture other things to help the population, it will be much more effective, and this will end up reducing global warming. Also, we can also save time and energy. I don't know. I think okay, this one I would have to check more on the solutions.
okay, James, what about you? What are some of the solutions to global warming or climate change?
I'm coming. Hello.
Hello,
Oh,
you've
no.
joined the class where you are hiding.
It's because I'm so with you. I'm
Okay,
listening to you. I'm listening to you and so doing something.
okay.
I beg you. I beg you. I'll come and listen to your recorded. But I'm still
They
listening.
recorded. Okay, so you listen to us. Okay, so Elijah, the solutions you gave me only one. There are numerous
Yeah,
solutions.
there are a lot. Yeah, there are actually a lot of
Uh,
things.
so you check them and tell me about it.
There are a lot. I can mention them. Probably the explanation will be like a bit of
try,
you have,
try
to think
to,
have to think a
try
lot.
to. You don't have to think a lot. Global warming. Global warming is one of the easiest topic you get
I did
because it's
I even
all
did
over around.
I did a presentation on
It's
global
all
warming,
around
but
us.
I forgot most of the things we
Wow,
said.
look, you did everything and you.
I
Yes.
forgot it.
Tell us more.
Let me see.
How
Okay,
how how can we how can we mitigate?
can you
Okay.
mitigate global
Yeah.
warming?
How
I
can we
think one
mitigate?
thing I'm remembering something. Um, uh,
What's the difference between mitigation and elimination?
Mitigation is reduce. If I'm not wrong,
Reduce what?
elimination is to like totally like disappear, like totally without any like
Disappear what?
like
And reduce what?
totally take out of the system whatever it is you don't want, like elimination. Like probably, let's say you are um uh let's say you have a bottle or a container or something, a part of it that
Okay.
you want
In
to eliminate it. Mhm.
medicine. Okay. In let's say occupational diseases and infectious diseases. What is mitigation?
In infectious diseases, I've not done infectious disease yet too, but
As
hold
a,
on,
you
mitigate.
everybody yeah in final year you've done infectious disease.
Mitigate is more of like, I think, less of
Did you do anything like deratization?
nope. Our teachers don't literally teach. We do everything by ourselves.
Oh,
I think
I wanted to
mitigation should be
see.
less. I think less, something less, like maybe less painful, like serious, less something like less,
Yes,
yeah, something like
yes. less something. What is that something?
Maybe so.
Okay,
Not something
let me
serious,
not put.
probably a disease or a
Okay,
pain or something.
okay. So to mitigate is what it's to reduce the effect of something on us. So let's say if we are mitigating, let's say the effects of HIV or malaria, it means we are not preventing the disease, all right, but we are reducing the effect of that on either the society or on the individual, the patient, or someone. So when we say how can we mitigate global warming, it means we are not eliminating, we are not avoiding it, but we are just reducing the effect of global warming.
Mhm.
Okay, so we are just reducing the effect. How deep, like how bad do we feel the effect of global warming? To reduce the effect is mitigation, but elimination is what you are taking away the causative agent or the factors that lead to that situation. That's elimination.
Okay. Okay.
Okay,
So
so let's go.
one solution will be to we should reduce the use of uh, like vehicles or cars in the population. So more of walking.
How can we do that?
We can do more of walking or cycling, and also using public transport instead of individuals owning a whole lot of cars, because this increases the amount of gases that are
But how can we
into the
do that? Should
atmosphere.
we just tell people nicely,
Well, no, you cannot tell people to not
nicely?
manufacture cars or to not drive
So
cars or
how?
something.
Yes. So
You
give me the
can.
proper solution. So it means what we have to pass what laws and regulations,
You can
right?
pass rules and regulations and even reduce the manufacturing of vehicles.
Yes.
In a way,
Or
yes.
increase
To
tariffs and taxes on what vehicles.
on
So
vehicles to
that's
deter
one.
people from. Okay,
Yes.
it makes sense.
Okay.
It really
Then we
makes
can
sense. But
also have what public education. Okay. Maybe health education on the benefits of riding,
riding,
cycling.
cycling, and using the pub, and also ease the use of public transport to make it more comfortable for people to access. So I think
Exactly. So
yeah,
you have to, your point, these things they come anyhow. So you should know how
you just
to
have to put them
state.
well, like put them well in a good sentence.
It's not about putting, it's a, even getting the point, cry. You're not getting the point.
But if you get a point, you cannot write the point well. What's happening?
At least it's better than not even getting the point at all. At least the examiner knows that at least you know what you're talking
You know
about.
what I'm talking about. Okay,
Okay, so
it makes sense.
another way.
Um, how come I'll be forgetting effect global solutions to global warming? So something I did.
There's one, the most important that you've not mentioned it. What?
Most important one.
Yeah,
The most
solution to
important one
global
was
warming.
the reuse, repair.
Recycling. No, that's not the most important one because we don't recycle everything. You know.
Yes, we don't like
Yeah,
everything.
we don't
I
recycle
thought I'm
everything.
talking about um I'm talking about deforestation leading to global warming, because I don't. Okay,
Deforestation leading, then afforestation.
afforestation is to reduce, yeah,
Afforestation is to mitigate.
mitigate, yeah,
Okay.
mitigate.
Yeah. So, what about renewable energy? You didn't talk about that one.
I
Solar,
said save
wind.
time and energy. That's I said it after I spoke
No, but
about it.
as one of the solutions, what we have to introduce or pass laws to encourage the use of what renewable energy. So
Renewable
solar,
energy,
electricity, wind energy. Okay, instead of burning fossil
fossil
fuels,
fuels, yeah.
we'll move on to what renewable energy. What is renewable energy?
Energy that can be um like it can be replaced after it's been used. It can be like it can be recharged or reused after used. It can be recycled, like always
You know,
used to.
homework.
What's renewable energy?
No, I will not accept that.
Why
Homework.
do you accept that?
Renewable energy.
You should accept that. Like that is the most simplest explanation.
No. It's unacceptable.
Oh, really?
So we go and look up renewable energy and
But
examples. Okay, give examples of renewable energy.
renewable example of renewable energy,
Mhm.
something like the solar panels, and then
Yes,
these
solar energy.
windmills, and
Yes, yes. And what else?
solar panels, windmills. What else? Yeah, the most. Hold on.
Hydroelectric dams are
Yeah,
also renewable.
hydroelectric dams. Very true.
Are also renewable. Then what else?
Um, is biomass part?
Biomass. Yeah, biogas. We can use biogas to generate, but that one to still there'll be byproduct from after the
Yeah,
burning.
that's what
Yes.
I am
So we
thinking.
can also have nuclear energy,
Yeah, there's nuclear. Oh, there's nuclear.
nuclear reactors. We can also have what ocean currents and sea waves.
Oh, don't ocean
They
current
are
is
also
uh,
renewable.
very
Yeah.
true.
Okay. So
Which
that
which
that's fine.
country which country uses ocean current and sea waves for as
I
renewable?
have I have no idea. I just know about United Arab Emirates. They use desalination of their ocean to produce water because they don't have any rivers.
They don't have any rivers.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
don't have any rivers. So they use seawater.
Oh, so you cannot use it to like cook and all those things, right?
They use it to cook. They desalinate it, so they make it fresh water. So they have factories
Mm,
that convert this ocean water into fresh water.
mm.
So they
Oh,
remove the salts from it.
okay, yeah, it's possible though. It's
Yeah.
possible.
Okay. So I think we'll end global warming here. The next one will be unemployment. But the next, before we do unemployment, we'll write one. Okay. We'll write. Why are you laughing? They think I am almost a munchra. You're muted. I can't hear you.
Me, if you give me a right, I saw the one on the WhatsApp page. I don't know what's supposed to write it because I didn't see it in the classroom.
It's Ingrid. That was the dawn class. You didn't join.
Yeah,
So it was it
I
was
woke up
just
I woke
in,
up an hour late.
it was just Ingrid and I. So I we just discussed a little and I gave her the assignment. I said, let's go and sleep because the rest of you were not present.
Can you just discuss it and let me go and write it?
No, it's the same principle, okay, as writing line graph or bar chart or anything.
Mhm.
But with the pie chart, it depends on the presentation of what the parameters. We know pie chart is in what 360 degrees, but it's presented in percentages, right? So that percentage you can what uh, represent them as what fractions, decimals, ratios, right? And the fractions too, we have the words, the ones that are in common language. So for example, if you have 50%, 50% can be what?
Half.
Half. It can also be what?
Uh, um, half. 50% can be half. It can be. Hmm.
Another way of saying half. Okay, half
0.5.
decimal. Okay, point
Zero
five.
point
Yeah.
0.5.
Okay, in fraction is what?
Fraction will be 1/2.
1/2.
Yeah.
In ratio is what?
In
One
ratio, it's
one out of
one is to
one
two.
1:2 or one
Yeah,
out of two.
1/2. Yeah.
Exactly. So you see, maybe they gave you 50%, 60%, 70%, or
Mhm,
they gave you 25.
mhm.
Then they gave you
So
maybe
25
uh
can be 1/4 in ratio. One
yeah,
fourth.
so 1/4, a quarter, one is
A
to four.
quarter, yeah. One
So
is to four.
when you take the bar chart, before you start
Sorry, I couldn't
writing,
find phone.
before you start writing, you just look at the percentages. Okay. So you take your pencil, then the percentage, let's say 50%. Okay. You know, you maybe let's for example, you have 15%, 25%, 33%. Okay. Then let's say 10%, then others. Okay, so you have 4 different values. You don't write in your essay 15%, 25%, 30%, 10%. What you do is that you first take one. Okay, now I have 25%. How can I present 25%? I can present it as quarter. Okay, so you've one form of presenting your answer is already out. Now you have 33%. How can I present 33%? I can say 1/3. Right? I can say 1/3. I have 10%. I can say, oh, 1 out of 10. Okay, then I have 15%. I can say what? 0.15. Okay, so you have different ways in present. So now you have 4 different ways. Some of them you cannot do anything about it. So you can just present it. Let's say they gave you 22.75%. You just tell them 22.75%. Okay, so that is how the way we go about pie chart.
The pie chart. Okay.
Okay, but the principle is the same. You have your introduction, your overall statement, then your main body paragraph. Sometimes they might give you one pie chart and one bar graph together, one pie chart and a table together. So just look at the similarities and everything, move on.
Okay, so if they give you one bar chart, one pie chart, like they are going to correlate.
They are going to they are going to relate. Yes, they are going to relate. If they do not relate, you present one, you present the second one. Simple. So you might get 2 body paragraphs there, but the overall should still be the same. Okay, so I think that will be it for today.
Okay, that's helpful.
I'll try and get the material and send them to you. I have a lot of things to send to you, a lot of materials to send to you.
I'll be reminding you.
Yes, remind me. now mine is very, very busy, you know.
Yeah.
Mine is very busy.
You told me that you're planning to travel to Tanzania.
Hey. Let's end the class. Stop the recording before you come and be asking questions. I'll have to even cut that part off. Okay. You pray with us and let's close.
All right. We are praying. Heavenly Father, we thank you for such a wonderful time. Thank you for how far you brought us. We thank you for taking us this far. We pray that whatever we've stated, may we be able to remember. Give us attentive memory, Lord, that at the end, whenever we need to remember, wherever we need to remember, whatever we're supposed to pen down where necessary, may we be able to remember it and glorify your name in Jesus' name. I pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Okay. Let's just. How do I stop this? Stop recording.